Out there. We are out there. It's happening. We're doing the thing. And I am going to share it in the group and everywhere else that we are live.
And you're still using Restream, right, to
Yeah,
stream it out to
Restream's going
everything?
out to Mixer,
Okay.
Twitch, where everywhere games are sold. And I'm trying to load it up. Yep, we are live. Sharing the group.
There we are.
Whoop. Ah! I forgot to change the title.
That's all right.
Yeah. No, that's going to bother me because it'll show up on YouTube like that and everywhere else. So
Okay, so change it.
stop recording and then actually, let me see if I can change it like live in stream.
Mommy needs to go louder.
I need to go louder, Mel?
That's what she's saying.
All right.
Good night.
That better? Am I good now?
Hold on.
Let me
Who needs
adjust
to go louder?
Come on.
Okay. How do I sound?
I love
That's
that
all
we're
that
getting like
matters.
live feedback from downstairs. All right, let's see if this updates all of them. I really hope it does. I don't think it's going to, and if it doesn't, we're gonna have to redo this live. And you know what?
I mean, if
I'm,
it
I'm gonna redo the live as a throwaway. I think because it's gonna bother me.
okay.
So we'll be back from the live testing right the second time. We are live again. Welcome everybody to
Howdy. Yep.
Con Culture DLC, where I am still working on my audio level. Ahem. Let me turn up my gain now that I know I can clean it in post. That's a great thing about this is I can just turn it up, hear myself clearly, yell at Brandon. Or at least it'll sound like I'm yelling at Brandon, and then I'll clean it up in post. So I learned how to use Premiere Pro, so now I feel really official, like super legit. Not gonna lie. Not to toot my own horn, but beep 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 beep.
I prefer DaVinci Resolve.
What you call me?
Exactly.
Them sound like fighting words.
They are fighting words.
We
It's
are.
it's a free version of another software that does about 95% of what the Adobe stuff does, but it's free.
Ah.
That's actually what I've been playing around with and messing around with and making stuff in, and yeah.
Well, the cool thing is, the cool thing is, I also, well, Adobe
Product
Premiere
placement.
Pro is free. Everything's free to a pirate. I'll just leave it at that. So-
Ooh, you're admitting to piracy?
No, I'm saying everything's free to a pirate. I didn't say I was a pirate. I'm just saying if you are a pirate, everything's free. Arr. So, guys, oh shit, the lights off, and I look really, really dark. So hopefully, my lovely assistant slash wife will get up and turn the light on, so I don't look like a super brown guy creeping in the dark. Hoping.
I mean,
Hinting?
that's gonna happen regardless of whether the light's on or not.
It'll just be slightly less. I'm gonna use my cell phone as a light on my face, like this. That look better? Does that look good? I look
Be like, so I
Yeah.
don't have stage lighting, but here we go.
that. Boom! There. She was nice enough. You're good. You're white in the dark, bro. You're good.
I actually am working on getting some stage lighting for my
Same.
stream.
Yeah.
So this face here, everything looks better. And then I've been
Yeah.
looking at the Philips Hue like lighting system. They have
Ooh.
some new lights out they call their play lights that I want to put behind me on a bunch of this stuff here to kind of light up and just make it pop, because I want to
Yeah.
kill this light over here, which is what I use for like my primary like stage lighting. It's just a lamp that's like
That's
standing
all
in
I
the
need.
middle.
I just need a standing lamp.
But get some like really decent like stage light for stage lighting for right here,
Yeah.
and then have the background kind of like dimly lit except for the like different color lights. And I want to use the Philips Hue system because it ties in with the Razer Synapse stuff,
Yeah.
which is what I use for all of my Razer stuff. So all these cool colors will match the lighting behind me.
Yeah.
So
So we are here to talk about cool shit, but mainly the PS5. That is the news of the week. This is Con Culture DLC, the gaming version, the gaming podcast of the pop culture version that we normally have. This is our mini gaming show. So we are here to talk PS5. But before we talk PS5, we got to see what we're talking about. So what I want to do is I want to reveal the PS5.
re-reveal.
Re-reveal. I want to see. I want to show the trailer they launched and had here. Boom. Let's get to watching this. I'm gonna mute our mics and turn on the audio for this.
I'm just gonna.
And I'm back. I'm back on. Getting Brandon back on.
You're back.
As a holder. We are back. We are back. That was the PS5, ladies and gents. That is, a lot of people don't like it. I personally love the look. White is my favorite color, so I really like the look of it. I like that it's sleek. It does look like a router, though. Those memes that are calling it a router, it's a router versus the mini fridge, totally on point. That is totally accurate. It does look like that.
So I'm a big fan of the design because it looks like a video game console. Yes. Whereas the Series X design right now, it looks like a mini fridge or a trash can or any of the other memes that you've seen out there where people have photoshopped stuff onto it. It's just a box.
I think its intent was to try to look like a PC tower, but it just didn't pull it off well.
So I like the overall aesthetic of the system, but
Trey said it looks like a Wii. I don't think it looks like a Wii, but I can see how maybe somebody could see that.
I overall like the aesthetic, but there's parts of it that I don't. So there's pros and cons to both the design of this one and the Series X, and they're the exact same ones. On the one hand, the Series X will blend in with like your home theater stuff very, very well because it's black. It's it's a box. It's angular. And it'll fit in nice. But on the other hand, it won't like stand out, so it'll just kind of blend in. Vice versa, the PS5 will stand out and be like a conversation piece almost.
Yeah.
But people are gonna have, some people might find it difficult to have it fit in with their overall like home theater aesthetic.
Yeah. Well, all the home theaters are usually lying down, and both of these consoles look like they're built to be upright. They're built to be upright. They no longer have to worry about discs. There are two versions of the PS5. There's the digital version with no optical drive, and then the regular version with the optical drive. I don't know if there's going to be a price difference in that.
I bet there will be, and I can almost see them. And I was talking to a buddy of mine about this earlier, and I hope he's watching because he said that he was going to share this out and watch stuff. But I can almost see them releasing the disc version of the console for one price with the 825 gig custom SSD built into the system. But then I can see them releasing a disc drive-less version with like a 1.5 or 2 terabyte version of their custom SSD.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to have to rely on just installing games, you're going to need more storage than
the hard drive is
825 gigabytes.
Yes, for sure. And Trey said he's going to be using a lot of Mr. Clean Magic erasers on that thing. That is the problem with white. I love it. It's my favorite color, but God, keeping that shit clean is hard. Like Belinda had to convince me not to get a white car. I really wanted a white vehicle. It's my favorite color. I like white. But yeah, she was a smarter one in the end. We just did not go with it because it would have been a lot of maintenance. But this is a gaming system. The ventilation looks cool. It's like built-in grids at the top of the PS5, but I'm excited for it. I like the look. I like that the accessories match the color scheme. But it's funny that Boss Logic can make an edit on this, and they're more popular than the PS5 reveal. Like, I've seen more pictures of the Miles Morales edition and the Pikachu edition that are not real editions. They are literally Boss Logic edits. But that speaks to how well Boss Logic can edit things and the hype for the Miles Morales game. Because the system looks cool as fuck. The mock-ups he did, I would buy those. I would pay the extra for them. Give me a preloaded Spider-Man game on it, but I would pay the extra amount to get on there. That would be fucking dope. That's just me, though. But I like it. I don't know what your opinion on the look is, but like you said, I think it'll start conversations. People will know you have a PS5. It's not going to blend in.
Yeah, there is going to be no question whatsoever what it is, or like it's overall, I like the aesthetic, and I think it's going to look very nice next to my PC.
Yeah. Is that where you're going to run it? You're going to run it all on your all on your monitors?
Yep.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes all the sense in the world, bud. But that wasn't the only thing that released. Obviously, they didn't just reveal the console itself. They released a ton. Well, I wouldn't say a ton, but a good amount. It was better than the Xbox event. These games actually got me excited. And we'll actually go into the one that I'm really, really excited about.
I wonder which one it could be. I wonder if it has anything to do with your background.
No. Spider Mouse. It's a new expansion / its own game / we don't fucking know.
It's something.
It's something. But it is something to behold as well. And I'm gonna get it up right now so we can see it. And hopefully Facebook doesn't flag us and mute it like they did the last time on our live stream, because they're like, this is licensed music. But let me get it up here. All right.
We'll just keep it muted.
Nope, it's going now. Here it goes. Now we need to shut the fuck up and let this trailer do its thing.
Oh, didn't find it.
A hero's just someone who doesn't give up. Your dad said that. He was right. Now it's your turn. Go be a hero, Miles. Okay, let's do this.
Feeling just don't stop me now. Try to hate on us. And when my legs are so strong enough, the feeling just don't stop me now. Baby, yeah, we know.
I am hyped as shit for that. Brandon, not so hyped.
I wouldn't say that I'm not so hyped. I'm just
I would say you're not so hyped, Brandon. I would say it.
whole next generation is going to be about, because I don't see graphics overall getting much better than what they already are. But the devil's going to be in the details, the small things, the lighting, the reflections, the effects, stuff like that. So the one thing that this game that I immediately noticed when I watched this live on Thursday was there's weather effects. I don't remember there being weather effects in the previous Spider-Man game, and I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to see how the character interacts with those weather effects, because with the added processing power now, they could potentially have varying levels of weather effects. Like maybe there's a blizzard and then there's not a blizzard, and as you're swinging through the city, it would be cool to see like the weather effects like react to you as you're going through.
Not only that, maybe surfaces would be slicker, so you could slide when it's snowing, as opposed to you can maybe do some cool weather effect stuff like that.
It could also make it harder for you to do things, because maybe you can't stick as well to the wall if it's covered in snow or ice.
Yeah.
So that's I actually hadn't even thought about that until just now when we were kind of thinking about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it opens up new things they could possibly do with the gameplay. But overall, like I said, it looks very similar to the previous one.
Yeah.
Which, again, I know this isn't a sequel yet, so this is probably still using the same game engine, same assets.
Yes.
Like it's all the same stuff. They're just doing another story with it now. Mm-hmm. And I still want like concrete clarification. Are we getting like a full like 20 to 40 hour game with this? Is this like a 10 to 20 hour sort of expansion? Like, do you have to own the previous game in order to play it? If you own the previous game, can you just download like an expansion and it just like continue from there? Like maybe stuff you've done or unlocked, you just kind of continue from there. So I think we need more details. The game looks fun. The first Spider-Man game was amazing. So I'm sure, I have no doubt this one's going to be fun to play. And as I've always said, like, visuals will bring people to your game, but gameplay will keep them coming back and playing. So if the gameplay is as good as the previous Spider-Man game, then like I'm in. I just want more clarification of what the game is, and I want kind of like a tech deep dive.
Yes.
Like, what are they doing to make this stand apart from the previous Spider-Man game? And if it's enough, then great. But if it's not, should I maybe just, I don't know, watch somebody play it and then pick up Spider-Man 2 when it comes out in a couple of years?
Yeah, no, I think being able to play as Miles Morales as opposed to Peter Parker is enough for me. Even if it's the same assets, running on the same engine, playing the same game, I get a completely different experience playing as Miles Morales. I think it's more than that. They're adding new stories, so you're getting more Miles. Miles Team PS5, bro. Yeah, we discussed that. Boss Logic edited those. They're not real. Nor is the Pikachu.
Not gonna happen, Art.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen. We've already talked to Links about this, buddy.
Yeah, no, we're not getting custom PS5s out the gate. Not yet. They gotta sell the first one. They gotta sell the ones they made first. They're not trying to compete with themselves by putting out custom consoles, unless they're gonna charge you an arm and a leg for the customs. If there's an opportunity to make more money, they'll take it. But I would be perfectly fine if it were the same game, same assets. But we are going to get different story, because Miles is a different character than Peter Parker. Different experiences, different I hope it's a different part of New York. I hope you get to be in the same neighborhood as Miles and experience it from the perspective of Miles, but you do get Miles's powers. He's not Peter Parker. He has a different power set, you know? So I think just that is going to make it cool as fuck. Being able to go invisible, use stealth, electrocute enemies. A year after, I'm just saying, he really wants that. I think with the next Spider-Man game, we'll get a custom console. With Spider-Man 2, and me and Michael had said this before, Spider-Man 2 should be a multiplayer game where you can play as Peter Parker and a buddy of yours can play as Miles Morales, and y'all take on some large group like the Sinister Six. That would be badass, or a huge Venom and Carnage villain. You know, something big that requires you to be able to play co-op multiplayer or co-op with the AI. I think that would be the shit. So that's my take. I think that's what Spider-Man 2 should be. Like, think of the marketing. Spider-Man 2 Spider-Man's co-op game. Like,
yeah.
So
I think what they could do is have a single player experience in the game. Maybe you flip-flop back and forth between Peter and Miles, and then have a separate sort of like co-op experience that's different story, different enemies, different stuff, that you and a buddy can play as the characters together. So
So you're gonna stick with the style of the first game where you're Mary Jane for some scenes and you're Peter for some scenes.
Throw that out. I don't want forced stealth crap where if the enemy sees you, that's it. It's over.
Yeah, I hated that too. But I'm saying in that respect to be having to play a couple missions as Miles and a couple missions.
Yeah, I mean, maybe even give you the option. Do you want to play as this mission as Peter, or do you want to play as this mission as Miles?
That would be cool.
Different ways of going about it. Because like you said, each character has slightly different powers. Why not set it up to where if you want to do like a going guns blazing, maybe you go in as Miles, who's not as refined, maybe not as stealthy as like Peter, because he hasn't been doing it quite as long. So Miles has a little bit more like guns blazing type abilities.
Yeah.
Or if you want to try to be stealthy and sneak around and take enemies out silently, a la the Arkham games, like Batman, you go in as Peter and you're webbing guys up and hanging them and stuff like that.
Yep.
Maybe give you the option to play missions however you want, and then like a lot of the Battlefield and Call of Duty games, then you have your separate like co-op module of the game that lets you and a buddy play as Peter and Miles and go up against harder challenges because now there's two of you on the map together.
Yeah. My brother said Michael is gay. And is Miles from Brooklyn? He can't remember. Bro, Google it. I don't got the memory right now. I don't remember what part of New York he's from, actually. I think it is Brooklyn. You're going to have to Google that. Somebody Google that. But
I'm working on it right now.
Oh, are you? Miles Morales is from what borough? Boom. What borough is Miles Morales from?
Miles Morales was born in Brooklyn, New York. So, yeah. So, Miles is from Brooklyn.
Miles is from Brooklyn. Brookland.
So, yeah. So, maybe recreate all of Brooklyn for his story. And just have him run around there.
I think they could totally do that and get away with it, and I wouldn't be upset. It wouldn't feel like a cheap thing. It would feel like a new experience with a new character. I really think that'll pull it off. Yeah, he's from Brooklyn, bro. We already confirmed. You're late. You're late in the chat. Thanks a lot for Googling too late. But, yeah, no, I'm excited for that game. But that wasn't the only game they revealed that had some cool shit. This one actually kind of creeped me out, and I'm just easily scared. Brandon probably doesn't bat an eye at this trailer, but check this out. It gave me the heebie-jeebies. Maybe it gives y'all the heebie-jeebies too. But let me see. Here, there we go. Let's get it up on the screen and enjoy the trailer while we show it.
Long ago, a young girl went with her mother to pick berries for her father, who was hard at work. But the forest greeted them with a dark, cold silence. The bushes empty. Yet determined to find the berries, the rascal broke free of Mother's grasp and vanished into the trees. Mother's worried cries faded fast as the girl ran on, over vine, under branch, and into the forest deep.
What is it with that creepy story?
It's just a local tale.
You're really into that stuff?
Quit being so paranoid.
No! Friendly! Friendly! Who are you? Who sent you? What's going on? They're coming. Who is? Chris?
Sorry, Ethan.
Why?
Yeah, that was the trailer, guys. That was
M. Night
it.
Shyamalan's
M. Night
Village.
Shyamalan's M. Night Shyamalan's The Village. And
So
that's-
I have to be perfectly honest. I was like, when I first saw this trailer.
Yeah.
I saw the reveal, I saw the title, and I was like, But then that little bit at the very end, where the guy walks in and the guy looks up and he's like, Chris? I was like, all right, I'm sold. I want this game. I have to play it. I have to see what is going on with my boy Chris Redfield. I have to see
why did he kill his wife?
She's
That's
probably
what I wanna
infected or
know.
something. But
Oh
like,
man, that would suck.
But yeah, so as far as my Resident Evil experience goes, I kind of stopped after 5 because the games just started to get really weird.
Yeah.
I've kind of read and sort of kept up with the like story. Then I played 7 because it was something new, it was something different.
Yeah.
And really enjoyed 7. I've of course played the remakes of 2 and 3, 3 being one of my favorite Resident Evil games of all time. And so now I am excited for 8 for Village, for Resident Evil Village. And I think Village, but I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say it right here, right now, where it's on tape. This is Capcom's attempt at doing kind of like an open world Resident Evil. You're going to get like a large village type area to roam around and explore. There's probably going to be multiple houses or
shit.
mansions, multiple locations that you can go to. Think kind of like Silent Hill, where you're in like the town of Silent Hill, kind of like
Yeah.
running around doing stuff. And I think that's what like the term village is supposed to kind of represent. Like
Yeah.
it's them doing like a large open area for you to explore and get lost in and die multiple times.
No, I'm good. Hard pass. Hard pass. That's just me. But that game, I'm gonna have to play it because this is what we do now. We play games and we review them, and that's what this podcast is gonna be. But yeah, I am not excited because it's a horror game and I'm a bitch, and I'm just gonna say that. But it looks cool as fuck, and an open world horror game would be a neat concept to pull off. I love that they will, like you said, with this console, they can do weather effects. So thick fog, things like that, you can interact with and play with a little more to build the suspense. Like if it starts raining all of a sudden, your visibility gets a little lower. Now it gets creepy. if you're able to play with lighting, even better.
If it starts raining, maybe the dirt turns to mud, makes it harder to run through. Maybe the
Yes.
ground gets slick.
Yeah.
So now as you're running, you don't have as much traction, you know? Like
Yes.
there's so many things that they could possibly do. The only question is, will they do it?
Yeah.
And if they do it, it'll add another again, this whole console generation is going to be about the small details. It's not going to be about huge visual things because we've had that already. We have that now.
Yeah.
It's going to be about, you know, doing these large worlds but also focusing on the tiny details.
Yeah. And whether or not you can pull them off and do them effectively and how it looks. But
Trey's right.
What's
right.
Trey? Juan, we'll play it in full daylight with all the lights on in a pillow fort. Fuck. Well, you didn't have to call me out like that, Trey. Nobody needs to know I built a pillow fort to play scary games. Okay? I will not play this at night. He is 100% right. But I would watch somebody play. I'll probably watch Brandon play it. I'll go over to Brandon's at night, turn the lights off, and watch him play it and scream like a little bitch. It'll be like watching a horror movie.
I'll just stream it.
Yeah.
I that's definitely a game that I'm going to be picking up in January because it said what, January 2021 or come in 2021.
Come in 2021.
I'll definitely get it. I'm going to say January because the last 2 Resident Evil games have come out in January.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say January 2021. Resident Evil 8 will drop and I'll get it and I'll stream it. I'll play it.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch him do that. In a circle of salt. Yes, Trey. You get the salt, bro. You got to have the salt. Just got to make sure you're safe, Brandon. That's all it is.
It's like that scene from Hocus Pocus where the girl's drawing the salt circle and she just kind of flings it around her.
You got to be extra safe. Put it in your hair. Just get it all in there. But luckily, the last game that we're going to be watching the trailers for was not a scary game. So let's get into that
exact polar opposite of Resident Evil.
Yeah, it's the exact polar opposite of Resident Evil.
The other.
We're jumping across the spectrum to the other side. But check this out, guys. We hope you enjoy this trailer, and we'll shut the fuck up.
You all right back there? No way.
It appears that the dimensions are collapsing on one another. If we cannot get to...
Right, the ship. I mean, we can't be that far.
I have it in my sights.
They have found us, Ratchet.
How do I steer this thing?
Ask nicely.
Slow down, please. Dad's not listening.
The dimensions are weakening considerably.
How bad is it?
Well, it is certainly not good.
Great!
Where are we?
Beats me.
To the depths with ya! How many arms you got, beast? We've been boarded! Get off me, ship, foul creature!
Plank!
Ratchet. We are too late. Ratchet?
Who?
PlayStation
Bring us back in here. There we are. I'm back in. Now to turn Brandon back on. Brandon's back now. Now you're back, Brandon.
I wasn't turned on first?
No, you weren't turned on first. It's merely placement. It has nothing to do with anything other than the placement of the buttons. But that was not Resident Evil. That one was Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank was a fun. That looks like a fun game. And the trailer looked like a mix of gameplay. And we were talking about this while we were watching the trailer. It looks like a mix of gameplay and cutscenes. And the gameplay looks fun as shit. It looks really fun. And the reason I included this one in here, I know we're talking next-gen console and pushing the limits of what we can do and adding new features. This one looks like it took advantage of it right out the gate. It's taken advantage of the M.2 and its ability to load data faster because you can jump through portals to get behind your enemies with no load. Like literally jump into another section of the area you're in, you hop one in portal, pop out the other, and you stay fighting. Brandon's telling people to shut the fuck up. Is it my brother? Is it my brother?
It's not, it's not your brother.
My brother. I was going to tell him. Never mind. I won't tell him to shut the fuck up because it's not your brother. It's totally my brother. Yeah. He throws like a bitch. So I knew it was him. No.
Says you throw like a biatch.
Yeah.
Breaks my computer. Anyway.
Yeah, is that one too violent too, Trey? Yeah. I got nothing for you, Trey.
It's not too violent.
I got nothing for you.
It's cartoon violence, so it's okay. Cartoon violence is 100% okay.
Yeah. No, I loved it because it is going to take advantage of that M.2 and the ability to load and pop in and out of portals. This game displayed what it can do. It displayed something that it's not currently able to do on the consoles we have now. So this one, out of all the trailers we saw, and we saw some good ones, like I think it was Wonderland. Was it Wonderland? Horizon. Horizon is the game I'm thinking of. Horizon looked cool as shit too.
I'm really curious if Horizon 2 is going to come to PC day and day with the PlayStation 5 launch. And the reason why I say that is because Horizon Zero Dawn, the first game, is coming to PC now. And I kind of missed playing it on the PlayStation because I think there was another game or two that came out right around the same time that the first one did. So I kind of missed it, and I always regretted it. But with the PC release, I'm going to get it. I'm going to play it, and I'm kind of excited for the second one because the second one just looks bigger. Like it looks like there's more than what there was in the first one. So again, I'm wondering if it's going to launch day and day, or day and date with a PC version of the game as well. And another thing that I was kind of thinking of, I wonder how many of these games are actual launch titles. I bet Ratchet and Clank is, because typically with launch titles, you want games that are going to show off the capabilities of what the system can do. So this piece here, you have technical demos that you can start kind of showing off.
Yeah.
You get the system, you have friends over, dude, check out this game, Ratchet and Clank, look at what you can do. These are the capabilities of the new system. And so that word of mouth is, somebody who was on the fence is like, okay, well, this does seem kind of cool. I think I'm going to try to go out and get one now. So I'm wondering how many of these games that they showed during their event are going to be launch titles, and how many of them are going to be launch windows, and then how many are going to be within the first year of the system.
Yeah, I think there's no Tiger King video games currently that I've seen, but no, I think you're right. Ratchet and Clank has to be a launch title to really display. It looks like they're taking full advantage, but like I was saying, I think it's a trailer that most showed what a PS5 can do and why the next gen console is going to be different than what you have now, and why you can't make this Ratchet and Clank game go on an Xbox One X or a PS4. You just can't. It just doesn't have the capabilities. So I think Ratchet and Clank does that with a launch title will be great. Miles is going to be a launch title. It said 2020. This thing's coming out 2020 in December. So I'm thinking that's going to be a launch title as well. Even if it's not a full-fledged game, that'll be enough for people to buy it for Christmas. That is a gift you're giving.
I don't think it'll be a launch title, and here's why. It'll definitely be out before the end of the year. I have no doubt about that. but I think the system itself is going to launch somewhere between September and November,
You
and
really
I'm
think that
leaning.
early? I think late
Yes,
November.
No, 100%.
Before Black Friday?
Before Black Friday,
Okay.
and here's why.
Yeah.
Here's why. You got Black Friday bundles where they're gonna, certain retailers are gonna bundle the system with a game and an extra controller or something to try to sell it. But Sony and Microsoft are gonna want as much time. These are gonna be the hot items for the holiday, hands down. Everybody's gonna want an Xbox Series X or a PS5 or both. It's just a given. Whenever new consoles launch, they are the big ticket item for the holidays. They're going to want to maximize the amount of time people are going to have to get these systems for Christmas. Typically, new systems launch between September and November.
Yeah.
And so I'd almost be willing to bet that given the potential shortage that there may be for these systems, they're going to launch them sooner.
It's intentional shortage. Like
Well, no,
anytime
no.
the Christmas toys launch,
there's going to be the intentional shortage where they try to make
Yeah.
it seem like there's not enough so that people run out and buy them as soon as they find them. But I think that this time there's going to be a legit shortage of components just because of the whole
COVID
pandemic
crisis.
thing.
Yeah.
Since factories aren't able to produce the components for these systems overseas, now that they're starting to ramp up production of all of those components, there's going to be a small trickle. That could also be a reason why there's a diskless version of the system. It may be quicker and easier to produce a diskless version than there is a disk drive version, and so that allows Sony to get systems out quicker and faster.
Yeah, James 014 says that it'll be shortage to create demand. That Nintendo uses that tactic with every system.
They always do.
Yeah.
They always do.
We agree.
Like if you look at the design of the system, the disk drive almost looks like an add-on to the system. Like it's not
It's just
symmetrical.
there.
It almost looks like a tumor on like the edge of the system
Yes.
there.
100% agree.
So I'd almost be willing to bet that the disk drive version and the 4K Blu-ray player was probably like a late addition to the design, and they were intentionally going to go with just digital. But then they realized no, that there's still people who like to collect the actual physical games.
Yeah.
But I also think this will be the last generation that we get disk drive systems. I think
No more
whatever
optical
the next
drives.
Xbox,
You think they're out?
I think that with the PlayStation 6 and the next Xbox, it will be 100% digital, and they're gonna have like 5 terabyte drives on them, or something ridiculous like that.
And that makes sense with the subscription services that they have, the PS5, the Xbox Game Pass. It makes sense. They're already trying to push us onto a digital platform where we have 300 games.
And it's not only that, but a lot of these companies are starting to work on game streaming services. So there's not even a need for there to be a disk drive on it when you can just stream the game as long as your internet's good. But that's a conversation for a whole other time.
But I agree. This will be our last console with an optical drive. That's a fair statement.
I think that given the shortage that there's going to be, that they're going to want to get this system out and into the public hands as soon as possible, and I'd be willing to bet that that's going to be probably around mid-October.
Yeah.
To like early November. This way's here. It gives them 2 months to get these systems out. It'll launch with, we'll say, less than 10 games, and I think the Spider-Man one will probably be a December release.
Yeah.
Because they're going to let the hype around the system kind of die down a little bit. They're going to let a few thousand more than a few thousand systems. I mean, let's say realistically they'll be able to have 100,000 systems available at launch. So by December, maybe 120,000, 150,000 systems total. Then they'll drop Spider-Man because they know that they're almost guaranteed that it'll go 1-for-1 with every system out there.
Oh yeah, it'll definitely. Even the last Spider-Man game, it was worth buying a PlayStation for. My brother literally bought his PlayStation for the Spider-Man game. He bought a Spider-Man PlayStation to play the Spider-Man game. So yeah, no, it's definitely a title that I think can sell PS5s. But yeah, those weren't the only games, guys. Ratchet and Clank was one, but we had some other games that we didn't didn't want to include this show would go on forever for hours if we just kept dropping trailers, which is perfectly fine. If you want that, we'll do it. But we assume just a quick version, a wrap up. Chivalry 2, a game I didn't even know existed. Like Chivalry 1, I didn't even know was a thing. But Chivalry 2, if you have some time, go YouTube the trailer for Chivalry 2. It is pretty badass. It's basically a giant battle royale in medieval times where you can lop the heads off your enemies and cut off limbs or shoot them with bows or literally catapult them and just incinerate enemies. You're dumped into this massive battle and you have to take checkpoints. You have to take the wall. You have to breach the gate. It looks like a fun ass game, and this console just allows it to be larger than before. So Chivalry 2 is a title that I've heard good things about. My buddy Levi played it, said he liked the first one, that it was really popular because you could play with multiple friends. Like you could get a couple buddies together and it would say breach the wall or take the wall, and you and your buddies would be responsible for getting the siege weapons and taking the wall. So Chivalry 2 looks like an awesome game that I'm excited for, that wasn't a part of the PlayStation release, but will be on the next gen consoles. Because we got a flood of trailers. Like IGN's doing a 3-day expo on theirs. Was there any other games that you saw that you were excited about that weren't on our list?
Not really. I think we hit the main ones. I'm trying to remember all the other ones that they showed. We
Solar
talked briefly.
Flare was a good indie one. Oh, actually,
Demon Souls. I'm super stoked for the Demon Souls remake. I am like, I didn't play it when it originally came out. I've actually never played any of the like Demon Souls or Dark Souls type of games.
Yeah.
And so I'm super stoked for Demon Souls.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, we
Demon
covered
Souls
Spider.
or is it Mortal Shell?
No. Demon
Mortal
Souls.
Shell. Okay. Because Mortal Shells is also a game that's similar to those games you were discussing. It's a hack and slash, and it looks fucking beast.
Deathloop was another one. It's one that's coming from Bethesda. They announced it last year at E3 with no other details other than, hey, it's this cool game. It's going to deal with kind of like time shifting and travel or something like that. Yeah. Then that was it. And then they showed it during the event, and you got a little bit more like into it. And me and some of my buddies at work, we were watching it, and we were like, man, wouldn't it be cool? Because they kind of tease the ability to play from like both perspectives, because it's this kind of like cat and mouse sort of game where you're playing one character trying to, and then there's another assassin that's trying to stop you. And we were like, wouldn't it be cool if you could do kind of like
pick your side?
The original, well, not so much pick your side, but like the original PlayStation release of Resident Evil 2 is you played through the game as Leon. If you picked up and did certain things, then there'd be less stuff there for Claire. So wouldn't it be cool if you could play through the game from like one perspective and then play through it again from the other character's perspective, but the game remembered what you did with your first character and it does the exact same thing. So it kind of gives you a leg up, but maybe they throw other things in there to make it difficult.
Like environmental things, a crowd that you weren't anticipating.
Yeah. Or just straight up co-op.
Yeah.
You know, or it wouldn't be co-op.
It would be versus.
Versus sort of. And then they also announced Hitman 3, which was kind of exciting.
Yeah, no, I love the loop game, like you said, because you're in a continuous loop and you die and you fail in this game repeatedly. Your goal is to kill the people who are trying to kill you to break the time loop. Otherwise, you just restart the game and go back to where you were, and you have to kill everything again. So I hope there's checkpoints though, because that would really suck if you get like 30 minutes into it, get killed, and then got to go back to the beginning. James, Ghost of Tsushima, we're on the same page with that one, bro. We already talked for days about it last time we were on here. That game I'm so ready for it. But
we don't know 100% for certain if they're gonna do a remaster re-release of it. But I mean, given the time that the game is coming out, it would be dumb not to do a PS5 re-release of both that and The Last of Us.
Yes, The Last of Us 2, Cyberpunk. Well, we know Cyberpunk's getting one.
Yeah.
And that one's getting oh so close, and I'm trying not to talk about it just for fear of delays. Like, I'm just like, when it comes, I'll be happy, I'll be elated, and I'll be pumped for it, but I'm not going to mention it. But yeah, there was, what other game? Oh man, the time loop one. Solar Flare, I think, was another brilliant looking game. It was a very vague trailer, but the animation style really caught me. So that was a cool kick-ass one. And I think that's it. I think that's all the trailers that caught my eye. But this PlayStation event was very well done. But it kind of speaks to how PlayStation is with their original content. It's eye-catching. It makes you want to play on PlayStation. Like you said, you have a more powerful device that's going to be literally sitting next to your PS5. But the only thing that makes you power up that PS5 as opposed to powering up your PC is the original content. And PlayStation delivered on this event. It was everything I wanted. I got a cool look at it. We got even a look at the peripherals with the headsets and the HD cam that's going to be able to come with it. I think it's a good event. I think it's a successful event for PS5.
You want to know something that I just thought of?
What?
So I didn't just think of it. Think of this just now. I've actually been thinking about it for a little bit. One of the things that they didn't show when they showed the whole kind of like family lineup of like PS5 peripherals and stuff like that was a new VR headset. And I'm not expecting them to put out a new VR headset, but do you think it's a coincidence that the current PlayStation VR set is black, white, and blue?
So you think they were anticipating to use that color scheme from the get, and that's why it is the way it is.
To be perfectly honest with you, I bet they've had the design of the PS5 locked down for years. And this whole sort of black, white with like the blue lighting aesthetic has been something that they've like, okay, that's what the next generation of stuff is going to look like. So let's design stuff around that. And to
get you used to the color scheme, to kind of get you comfortable with it.
Yeah. Maybe they didn't have the design aesthetic for the console lockdown for years, but somebody came in and they threw the headset on a table and said, make a system that'll match this. And then the designers went off and started putting stuff together.
Yeah.
Because if you think of the overall shape and kind of like some of the details and the aesthetics of the new console,
of it,
if you put the VR headset right next to it, it fits. It matches.
Looks like it's of that same generation.
It fits right in with it. So I would not be surprised. We're probably going to get a PlayStation VR 2 at some point during this console's generation. But right now, if you were to put the PS5 on your shelf with your VR headset right next to it, people would be like, that matches. That looks cool. And the controller and the headset and all the accessories that go along with it, they all just kind of fit together in one cohesive black, white, and blue aesthetic.
Yeah. That's how Quentin Tarantino makes movies. Starts with one scene in his head and reverse engineers the movie. Yeah. And that's why I think 3 Quentin Tarantino movies are good. Maybe 3. That's just me. That's just me saying. I just think he exploits the shit out of minority cultures. I don't respect the man. I don't like his films. I don't like him as a person, which is probably why I don't like his films. I do like Inglourious Bastards. I like Desperado. And I think that is all the Quentin Tarantino I like, to be honest with you. Yeah. Everything else, I'm good. Hard pass. Hard pass. I agree with Spike Lee. He just appropriates other cultures' ideas and takes them. So, I don't respect them. That's just my personal opinion.
If we're still firing off quick bites, I just want to throw this out there.
Yeah.
To no one's surprise, the reviews for The Last of Us 2 are starting to pop up. 10 out of 10s, 5 out of 5s, masterpieces all around.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting. I'm still going to wait for the PS5 version, though.
I am going to play it.
Still going to wait.
Reluctantly, because that game looks scary as fuck, too. And the amount of stealth, I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable with stealth, man. It's nerve-wracking. Dimly lit buildings. I'm old. I got bad eyes. Can't be doing this shit. I got to turn my brightness. My kids literally had to tell me to turn my brightness up. I was playing Red Dead, and I was in a cave. And they're like, why don't you just turn your brightness up? And I was like,
Because you have a lantern. That's what the lantern's for.
Why don't I just turn my brightness up?
Because you have a lantern.
Because I was getting chased in a gunfight. I'm not going to pull out my lantern in a gunfight.
Speaking of which, the biggest upset to this whole PlayStation thing, in my opinion, they started it off with the reveal that GTA 5 is coming to the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, that is not good.
Like,
you get it when you buy a PS5. You get GTA 5. Nah.
I can't. Well, no. You get GTA Online. I guess is just going to be its own free sort of thing. PS4 owners are going to get $1 million a month deposited into their account. All they have to do is log in, and they'll get the money. So you're going to get at least $12 million from them. But I'm just like,
it's not exciting. It's underwhelming.
Like,
that was probably the most underwhelming part of the PS5 event.
Rockstar is starting to turn into Bethesda when it comes to GTA 5. They are beating this dead horse. I mean, I can't really say that it's a dead horse because GTA Online still makes them a ridiculous amount of money.
It's super active and fun to play.
Like, did we need GTA 5 on PS5?
Not when it's backwards compatible. The game is backward. Like, the PS5 is going to be able to play PS4 games. So you can just play the other Grand Theft Auto. Why are you going to remaster it? Build the new fucking game. Give me the new one. Stop working on the old one.
So basically what it's going to be is GTA 5 on PS5 is probably going to look like it does on PC right now. It's going to with PC max settings, which doesn't look that much different from the PS4 version.
Yeah.
Again, as I said at the beginning, devil's in the details. It's all in the little details of the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally agree with James there. Bethesda's gonna release Skyrim on the PS5 too, probably.
Oh God, no. Although on the Xbox would be cool because of ray tracing. I mean, hey, I don't know about you, Brandon, but I want to see the neon lights on the back of the hooker's head who's blowing me. All right. That's what I want to see. I want to see the reflection of the neon lights. And when I blap her, I want her blood to be pooling and the neon light to shimmer off the blood pool when I kill the hooker.
Gonna see the light reflection in the blood pool. But no, it is legitimately. I know that they made fun of this a couple of years at an E3, but it is legitimately on Amazon Alexa. You can legitimately play Skyrim on Alexa.
I saw that, man.
I have done it.
You played it? No, I can't bring myself to play games on Alexa.
It's very much like an old text-based RPG where like she basically says, "Hey, you're coming to a crossroads. There is a wolf in front of you. What do you want to do?" And then you tell her, "I want to slash at it with my sword." And then she goes, "You slash at it with your sword. You miss. The wolf bites your throat out. You are dead. Game over. Start anew."
What the fuck?
Yeah, it is very, very much like that.
Yeah, nah, man. Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons intro with Alexa. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's getting you into role-playing games with your robot. I'm good. Hard pass. But that's it for this week's episode, guys. Those were the trailers. That was the PS5. We have more events. We have more trailers coming up. So I will play The Last of Us 2 and give my thoughts on it. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that on the other podcast because I don't want to spoil anything for Brandon. I don't know if he cares.
You're not going to spoil anything. I'm still going to play it regardless.
Yeah. All right then. I'll give our thoughts.
And if Naughty Dog is actually being true, your play experience might be different from mine. There may be story elements that you don't come across that I do come across, just depending on how I play it.
I guarantee you that is true because I am going to try to beat this game. I'm not trying to do every mission and side quest or any of that. And you stealth way better than I do. So if there's a way to not stealth, I'm going to take it. That's just
so right there, you may make a bunch of noise and have to go one way, and I may be able to sneak my way through the game and see a completely different story play out.
Yeah, James, we did see Godfall. That game was pretty cool too. The Godfall trailer. Not a game I would play, but I appreciated the animation style and the
Godfall looks like God of War. It looks like the new God of War. to me. It looks almost exactly like it. With the hack and slash, the shield, like watching the trailer that they showed during the event on Thursday, I was sitting with two of my buddies at work and we were watching it, and I was like, this looks like God of War.
Yeah.
Just shinier.
But like James said, something seems off about that game. It doesn't excite me. I like the animation style. It looks cool, but something's just not clicking with me that I'm like, holy shit. Like Ratchet and Clank is not a normal game I would play, but it has a charm to it, and it's taking advantage of the console's ability. Like, I appreciate that game, so I will play that game. But I don't think I'm going to play Godfall. Like you said, I'll just go play God of War again. It's a better experience.
I have a strong feeling that Godfall might be one of the like first free PlayStation Plus games that they give away for the PS5.
Yeah.
It seems to me like, and I'm not trying to diss on the studio that's making it or anything, it doesn't seem, it's not the killer app for the system at launch. It's not. It seems too familiar. It looks pretty, don't get me wrong, but yeah, watching it, I was just like, I've seen this in God of War. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not really seeing anything new here.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, that's our review of the PS5 event and the trailers for the games that we watched. Thank you guys so much for chiming in. That was a great episode. We hope you enjoy them. We'll keep them coming. Next time you'll see us is probably going to be after The Last of Us 2. And I think we still have some expos, some gaming expos taking place in digital form, and other studios I'm sure are going to have their events. So
Microsoft is supposed to have theirs next month, I think, where they fully unveil the Series X, and we may get a price at that point, and then followed shortly after that, we may finally get a price for the PS5. But I'm still sticking by my guess. I'm going to say between $450 and $500 for it.
I'm with you on that one. But yeah, thank you guys so much for chiming in.